All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Music Report podcast. It is 5-Minute Friday once again. So glad it's Friday. I hope you're enjoying the beginning of your weekend. This might be your last day of work or you're finishing off the week and you might be listening to this in the morning or something. Hope it sets your weekend beginning day off on the right foot. But so this episode is going to be a little bit different in style and framework because I'm going to tell you guys a story today. An event or a series of events recently happened to me that I really thought it just had a good message that people should hear. So this involves a specific person and they might listen to this episode, might not, I don't know, maybe sometime down the line. But so I just had an experience where I bought something. It was a podcast pack, basically, and it was giving me some tips and stuff to help me improve, what I'm doing here for you guys, the Music Report podcast. And I saw this thing, and if you don't know me personally yet, I'm in college, and I'm finishing up my undergrad degree in business. And if you've ever been in college or college age, you probably know that college broke is a real. My phone is ringing. Is a real thing. And most college students don't have that much money. Some might, God bless y'all, but I don't. And paying for things that are of a high dollar value is not something that I do very often. I take my money pretty seriously. I'm a pretty frugal person, and when I pour money into something, it is of great value to me. So I saw this thing. And I said, man, I really want that. And I've said that a couple times before. I said, I really want that. But usually I'm like, hey, man, it's not a priority. Don't have the money for it. But this time I was like, you know what? I have a job for a reason. I really think this is an investment in my future because I really care about you guys. And I want to make the podcast the best it could possibly be. So I was like, I'm going to invest in this product. And I set aside the money and I went to go purchase it when it was released. And when I went to go purchase it, something went wrong with the transaction and it just wasn't going through. I was like, Lord, are you telling me that I'm not supposed to be buying this because you're making it real hard right now? So, I was getting kind of frustrated, did my little email to support to make sure, hey guys, what's going on? I'm trying to spend money for you guys and it won't go through. And basically the person was like, oh man, that's crazy. Let's try it this way again. So I tried it, still didn't work. And then I realized that I was supposed to be getting some free products that I had never gotten. So I emailed them about that. And I was like, man, I need these free products. So basically he was like, okay, very responsive. I'm grateful for that. He sent me the free products I was supposed to have. And then he also sent me everything that was involved in the pack. And I was like, whoa, like, dude, you just sent me the whole thing. Well, I didn't say that to him, but that's what I thought. Like, dude, you just sent me the whole thing for free. I haven't paid anything yet because what it looked like was going through the transaction didn't actually take anything out of my bank account. So I'm like, now I have a decision to make. You guys are all probably like, oh yeah, so you got it for free. So I'm thinking, Lord, just blessed a broke college student. Thank you, Jesus, because I didn't have the money to pay for it. And then I was sitting there and I was like, a little voice in the back of my head this is kind of stealing because I'm supposed to pay for this. And then, the other person message on the other shoulder was like, nah, man, this is God looking out for you. So I sat there in the valley decision for a little bit and I said, you know what? I think it's the right thing to at least let him know that he sent me the wrong thing or he sent me too much. Not going to tell him, to take it back or anything. It's mine now. It's mine. But I'm going to let him make him aware. Maybe he just wasn't aware, or maybe he was aware and he's like, it's okay. For your trouble, I'm giving it to you for free. So I let him know. Hey, dude, you sent me the whole pack. Just letting you know. It didn't actually take out my account. Hoping, when you do the right thing, have you ever just like hoped that the universe rewards you and everything just works out because you did the right thing? I was hoping for that. And that did not happen at all. He was like, oh, well, here's the invoice. So I was like, dang it, man, don't you see I'm trying to be a good model citizen? I could have just took this from you and you just gonna charge me like that, bro. At least give me a discount. So I was like, wow. Now I still have another decision to make. I could just be like, oh, never saw the email, never saw the invoice. I have the product now. I could just take it and keep moving, keep it trucking in life. But then, that voice in the back of my head was just like, all right, you did the right thing, quote unquote. Now it's really time to do the right thing. So it takes a little bit. I tried to do the process again. I was like, all right, let me just do it without thinking about it because it's going to hurt me so much that I'm spending this money and I don't have to. So I tried again and the transaction still wasn't going through. I was like, okay, maybe I do need to keep this product. And I went to go do something else with my card later that day, I believe, and it didn't work again. So actually I discovered that it wasn't them that was the problem. It was actually my bank card. So now I had to go get that fixed. So I got it fixed, and now I could really, pay the guy back. And I'm just sitting there like, this is money. I'm really about to watch this money get drafted out of my account, and I don't have to. What are you doing, Cleavon? Cleavon a couple years ago would have never did this. Never. What are you doing? So it so happened that I was traveling at the time, and you guys heard about that a little bit while in these 5-Minute Fridays with me traveling. And I was sitting there, and I was like, you know what? Do the right thing. So I sent the guy the money, and I watched it get taken out of my bank account just like that. Boom, gone. And that was it. Boom, end of the story. Right? Not really the story that you want to hear or something. Oh, my testimony of how God paid me back. No. And that kind of made me realize something. It's doing the right thing. You shouldn't really be expecting a reward. Often we expect somebody to, we're raised in this system where when you do something good, you get something back. When you do something good, you get rewarded. And that hit me when this happened. Whoa, that's not real life. You could do something perfectly good. You could be the model saint and life will still punch you in the gut. It will. So let's move on. The story's not over. I thought it was over, and I was actually going to put up a post like, man, don't expect the world to reward you because it won't. But the story's not over yet. I'm glad I waited. So time goes on, and I get a message. I'm registered for this program, this product, and I get a message that there is a webinar conference thing happening at this period of time, and we get to ask questions and stuff to, improve our podcast and all that. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to tune in. I'm going to make sure I want to do this. I'm taking advantage of this thing because it took my money. So I'm going to get every little bit I could get out of it. I log in, and it just so happens that the person that I was communicating with about this money is the person who's hosting the webinar. So I'm like, oh, shoot. Hey, what's up, bro? And of course, he recognized my name. He sent a million emails to each other. So he knows who I am. So I'm like, oh, wow. So where is everyone else who's supposed to be tuning into the webinar? He was like, dude, you're the only one that took advantage of it. It's just me and you. And it stayed me and him for legit about an hour of me and him just going back and forth, talking about podcasting, talking about goals, talking about stuff. It was like a one-on-one session that you would probably have to pay hundreds of dollars for that I got. And I just sat back when we were finished and realized, I was like, whoa, what just happened? I never would have tuned in to that webinar if I didn't pay that money. One, I would have felt too guilty. And two, I probably would have been hiding because if I was like, if they didn't realize I didn't pay and then I tune in, he might block me. I might not have access. I would have been, like trying to duck, just making sure I did everything by myself. I wouldn't have been involved in the community. And that just went to show me, like, I got so much value from that meeting, and I'm getting so much value from being involved in the community and just learning things from this product that I probably wouldn't have gotten if I was ducking the system the whole time. And that just went to go show, like, man, doing the right thing, it may not pay off the way you want it to pay off, but God, the universe, whatever you believe in, it comes full circle. It really does. And integrity over business is a real thing, because when you do the right thing, it goes towards your legacy. You got to think long term. You have to, don't go for the short term gain. Go for the long term goal. Honestly, this worked out in a long term way for me, because I will be able to create way more than I did putting into this program, getting out of it, because I did the right thing. I probably would have chopped my value in half if I didn't pay that money, because I would have been trying to do everything on my own. So that I just want to share this story with you guys, because one, I want you guys to remember like 3 things from this story. I want you guys to remember that integrity goes over business, because integrity will sustain your business. And this goes for not even just business, like this goes for life. If you want legacy, if you want to be at your whatever you do to be sustainable, you have to have integrity, because you will get found out. I mean, I think 2019 is the year so far of getting found out. Everyone's getting found out. Stuff that's been going on for years. People are being exposed. So you don't want that to be you. You want your legacy to hold up. You want, when people show up to your funeral and your legacy is thought about, people to say that, man, this dude had integrity. The second thing I want you guys to remember is do the right thing, but never hope for a reward. Because if you do that, you're doing the right thing for the completely wrong reasons, and you probably will be disappointed. And that will probably lead to you making not so great decisions in the future. Do the right thing, but just do the right thing for doing the right thing. Don't expect anything from it. Don't expect any type of gain. Don't expect any type of leverage. Don't do that. If you're going to do that, you might as well just jip. You might as well just, throw out your ethics out the door and do whatever you're going to do, because when you expect something from it, that's just not the right way to go about it, and you probably will be disappointed more than half the time. That's just the way the world works. Third thing and last thing is, y'all, God sees everything. The universe sees everything. It's going to be okay in the long run. Like, by you doing the right thing, I'm sure maybe sometimes the stakes might be high, but it's going to be all right. You're not going to die from doing the right thing. Like, your life will continue, and you'll be able to just know that you did the right thing, and that, eventually the star is going to be on your crown. You're not going to be the one basically saying, oh, well, this is why God going to be looking at you at the gates like, oh, this is why you didn't make it. I don't know. I could be exaggerating the situation. It's kind of funny just to think about it that way. But man, it's going to be all right. The universe sees what's going on. God sees what's going on, and it will come full circle. Trust me. We're going for a legacy. We're going for long term, not the short term gain, guys. So that's my story. Integrity over business, guys. And thank you for letting me explain. And hopefully this story resonated with you. And maybe if you even been through something like that, you could DM me on the gram, or you can message me on Facebook. You could do it at the Muse Report Podcast, or you can message me personally, Clee.Davis on Instagram. And I'd like to hear what your story is and if you got something from this. All right, guys, I will talk to you guys on Tuesday. Until then, peace.